What's up, Tackle Warehouse fans? Jake here, bringing you this week's episode of What's New TW. Summer's in full swing. Hope you're getting out there enjoying the water, not getting bothered by too many jet skis and wakeboarders out there. So today we got a couple products for you. The first couple are going to be from Plano. We got the new Plano Stow-All bags. We got them in this 3600 size and 3700 size. These are some awesome clear bags. Seems like everyone's switching over to these and getting rid of all the gallon-sized Ziplocs they have in their boat and tackle box. These are made out of a premium TPU material. It's abrasion resistant, scratch resistant, real heavy duty. You're not gonna wear these things out super quick like you would with a cheap Ziploc bag. They've also got these heavy duty waterproof closures on the top, so keep everything nice and secure. You can be out in the rain. If you drop in the water, you don't have to worry about water getting in and ruining whatever's in your bag. And it seems like since most people are converting to these, these are a great option. If you check these Planos out compared to some of the other clear storage options on the market, the clear bag storage, these come in at a very good price point. I believe the 3600 size comes in at $6.99 and the 3700 comes in at $8.99. So great value, just better than the cheap bags and just better equipment to store all your plastics and loose tackle and stuff like that. All right, next up from Greenfish, we got a bunch of stuff from Greenfish. So the first one is our new Shark Buzzbait. So this is a sweet buzzbait. It's got that nice flat head on there, so it's gonna plane up real nice. Everything from Greenfish tackles always really, really nice components. They got nice heavy duty wire. It's crimped up here, so you're not gonna have any problems with the wires bending out of place and getting tweaked and out of tune. So everything's gonna stay nice, straight and rigid. They got these nice blades on here, oversized blades. And then down here, they got a nice sticky sharp hook. Summertime's great, best time to be out throwing a buzzbait. Early in the morning, late in the evening. Night fishing, now's the best time to be out night fishing. Buzzbait, big double buzz is a great way to get big bites. So check that out from Greenfish. The other stuff we got from Greenfish, we got their new little rubber and big rubber jigs. So these are hand-tied jigs, and they're hand-tied with a combination of silicone and living rubber. So you're gonna get that nice big profile. And if you've never used a living rubber jig, when these things sit on the bottom, they get so much secondary action that rubber really never stops moving, even with just the slightest movement of water. These things just keep moving around, and they're really, really good for certain times of the year. So especially in the winter months when the water's really cold, or even the summertime when there's a lot of fishing pressure and the fish just aren't really reacting to aggressive jigs, you might want to slow it down, fish something like this that's kind of got its own action built in for you. They're hand tied. They've got great components. All Greenfish tackle jigs are awesome, hand tied premium components. They got nice airbrush on the heads, really sharp hooks. The big rubber jig has got a nice stout, like kind of a flipping style hook on there. So a little bit heavier duty. So if you're looking to fish a little bit shallower, or you just want to fish heavier tackle, you want to go with that big rubber jig. If you're looking for something a little bit more downsized, a little more finesse, the little rubber jig has kind of got your standard kind of medium wire jig hook on there. So this is going to be good for fishing out deep or just making long casts, or if you want to fish like 12 or 15 pound, that's going to be a good one for you there. If you're looking for something to throw on that jig, so we got a new one from Geekrack. We got the new Geekrack Baobab Hog creature bait. So unique creature bait, as you can see, similar to some of the other creatures on the market. It's got a couple extra little appendages. Down here on the main appendages, they got these little bumps on there. And what that's gonna do, it's gonna help these things kick a little bit more, and it's gonna add some texture on there. That heavy ribbing's in a trap area, you're gonna get that nice bubble trail if you're flipping it on a Texas rig or something like that. And like all the Geekrack baits, this is made out of that SAF material, so it smells, it's got a really strong scent. It's got a lot of oil in it and amino acids, and like when fish bite these things, they do not let go. They've also got some really cool colors like this one here. I believe it's called the Florida Hammer or something like that, with that chartreuse tip, just an awesome color. All right, the next one we got from Geekrack is their new Yam Stick stick bait. So an awesome soft stick worm. As you can see, a little bit different than all the other stick worms out there on the market. What's cool about this is it has a tapered body shape, so it has more plastic down in the tail. So with that added weight down there in the tail, it's gonna rear weight it, and it's gonna cast a lot farther than some of the other stick baits on the market. Since that weight is gonna be facing forward, it's gonna cast really well. And then obviously it's got that nice little tail on the very bottom. So just gonna get a little bit different action. Right now, sometimes in the summer, the conditions can be super tough, really hard to get a bite. A lot of people are out fishing and the fish are just lethargic. So this is gonna show the fish something a little bit different. And with all that scent on there, just kind of an added bonus, one that I'm actually pretty excited to try out. Down here on the bottom, they've got these little perforated holes, so you always have the perfect spot to put whatever hook you want through there. Just something different, fish you haven't seen. And like I said, loaded with scent, just might be something a little bit different just to get yourself a few more extra bites when you're out there throwing stickworms this summer. So next up from Riot Baits, we got another cool soft plastic. So this is the new Vigilante, and when I got this out of the package, I was pleasantly surprised at the size of it. I really like how compact it is. So, you know, looking at it online, I thought it was gonna be a much bigger bait, but this is an awesome little bait. So, as you can see on this one, bunch of different appendages, got all the side arms, big flappers on here, little antennas. So there's a bunch of different things you can do with this. You can fish this on a ton of different applications, Texas rigs, Carolina rigs, jig trailers. You can cut it down and fish it on a Ned. You can take the little arms off and, you know, have a good punching bait so it doesn't really catch on anything. Just a bunch of different options that they give you with all the different appendages. You can tear them off and kind of customize it however you want for whatever application you want. You can leave it full size, cut it down, whatever. On the back there, it's got that nice reinforced back, so if you are punching it with a flipping hook, you got that nice reinforcement in there, so it's not going to tear up as easily. They've got a bunch of sweet colors in this. It's going to be a great bait when you need that more compact package, but still have a lot of action. All right, from Yo-Zuri, we got their new T7 Premium Fluorocarbon line. I'm actually pretty excited to try this out. I've tried some of the other Yo-Zuri fluorocarbons in the past and was pleasantly surprised. So this is their new top shelf premium fluorocarbon line. And what they've done with this line is they're trying to give you the best of all worlds when it comes to line. So it's going to have really good tensile strength, really good shock absorbency, really good abrasion resistance. And this line goes through a special heating process, which is going to reduce some of the memory, and it's going to make the line a little bit more supple. So you're going to get better casting distance and just better castability on your reel than some of the other fluorocarbons out there. Usually when you get those lines that have the higher abrasion resistance or you know, less memory or something like that, you're always having to give and take with something. So they're trying their best to give you kind of the best of all the worlds with fluorocarbon lines. Usually, you know, fluorocarbon can be stiff sometimes and not really not as good castable. It's not going to be an issue with this new Yo-Zuri. You're definitely going to want to check this one out. All right, we got a couple of things from Crusher Lures. So this first one is the new Cajun rig. So you need to think of this as kind of an alternative Carolina rig. I love throwing a Carolina rig, especially in the summertime, out there deep on, you know, offshore structure and humps and things like that. So with this weight, instead of it being like a bullet weight or an egg sinker, it's a unique style weight and it's got two rings on it. So you're gonna feed your line through those rings and that's what's gonna slide up your line versus having like an egg sinker or something like that. It kind of has like a sled shape to it, and it really decreases the amount of snags when you're fishing a Carolina rig. We all know it can be a problem, especially when you're fishing 3/4, 1 ounce egg sinker. You get that thing stuck in the rocks and they're done, and then you have to re-rig up a whole new Carolina rig. Another cool thing that's a part of this rig is it comes with a couple of these sonar balls on there, and those are made to be put right in front of your lure. So not only does that little sonar ball is going to add that rattling right in front of your bait, it's also going to add a little bit of buoyancy to help keep your bait suspended right off the bottom. And I really like that, you know, having that rattling sound that's right up against your bait and not 4 feet up your leader, you know, up against your weight. We've all had, if you fished Carolina rig long enough, we've all had a time where the fish bites the weight and you think you got one and you set the hook and there's nothing there because they're biting the weight. I think that's going to alleviate that with that sonar ball up down there by your lure. And like I said, it's supposed to get snagged a lot less than a traditional Carolina rig, so definitely going to want to check that one out. Something else that's going to help you save a lot of baits. We got another one from Crusher Lures. This is the Kyle Monte Cover Cruiser jig. So this is a wobble style jig. I personally love fishing a wobble head. They're traditionally made with a football style head, and as you can see, this one has a totally different shape than a football head. It kind of has a heart shape to it, and with that design and that recessed line tie, this shape is supposed to go through cover tremendously. So you're going to snag a lot less, lose a lot less jigs. And then with that flat bottom on there, instead of having a football head, if you're fishing it quick or it's going down, you know, a steep ledge or something, it might tumble. That flat bottom is supposed to help you drag over cover and keep your bait flat and running true all the time. Just something different. Comes with a premium Gamakatsu Superline EWG hook on there. So it's all premium components, heavy duty powder coating on there. It's not going to chip up like some of the other cheap wobble heads on the market. Just something I'm super stoked to try out and hopefully lose a lot less of them this summer. Last terminal piece we got from Duo Realis. We got the new Duo Realis Nano Hook. So if you've ever fished any Duo Realises, you know, spy baits, jerk baits, you know, stuff they're most famous for. You know, the treble hooks that come on there are sticky, sticky sharp, and you've never been able to replace them with the exact same hook that comes on them until now. So now Duo-Realis is offering the Nano hook, and I believe a 5, 6, and 8. And we have a huge chart on the website that lists what size hook goes to what bait. So if you've got some old Duo-Realis baits that have been beat up, they've caught a ton of fish, and they just need a facelift and need a few new hooks on them, and you want to get that same exact hook that comes from the factory, now you can get them with the new Nano hooks. All right, from Catch Co, we got the new baby bullgill swim bait. As you can see, small profile bluegill swim bait. This is actually made in collaboration between Catch Co and Triton Mike Bucca, which if you've ever thrown any kind of swim baits, you know who Triton Mike Bucca is. He's a legendary swim bait builder. Best known for the bull shad. And what they've done with this is they designed this bait and they're using a little bit different plastic. So they're using an injected ABS plastic versus the resin that's traditionally used with the bull shads. And that's what that's going to do. It's going to cut the cost down tremendously, but you're still getting the same great action, that S swimming action that the Buccas are known for, but it's made out of this durable material that helps cut the cost down. So it's almost 4 inches long, but it only weighs 3/4 of an ounce, and it's only 15 bucks. So it comes with really good hooks on it. They've got some awesome paint jobs as well. So if you're looking for a little bluegill, not really going to break the bank, or you just want to kind of dabble into swim bait fishing without getting a whole dedicated setup, you can throw this on your jig rod, crankbait rod, whatever, because it only weighs 3/4 of an ounce. Just awesome swim bait, cost effective, great for ponds. Anywhere there's small bluegill swimming around, this is going to be a good one to throw. And last up, from St. Croix. So if you're throwing big swim baits, you might want to check this one out. So this is the new Premier Muskie Rod. So these aren't new to the market. We just brought them into Tackle Warehouse, and we think that the guys that throw the big swim baits are really going to appreciate these. So it's handmade by St. Croix up in Park Falls. And when you're getting a St. Croix, I mean, there's some awesome technology in here. So this is made with their SC2 carbon material. So you're getting a good balance of strength, weight, durability, sensitivity, really solid rod. The other thing I really like on this rod is they have double foot Keegan guides all the way up, a really large size guide. What that's gonna do, it's gonna be better for the guys that all using, you know, braid dual leaders becoming a lot more popular. And when you get this rod in your hand, it's an 8-foot heavy swim muskie rod, and it's light as a feather compared to some of the other 8-foot you know, heavy action swim bait rods on the market. Since this is built for muskie, I believe their lure ratings are a little bit on the lighter side. If you've ever shopped for swim bait rods, you know that the lure ratings can be all over the map. You get a rod that's really high rated that has a lot of flex in it, doesn't really feel like it meets that rating. On these rods, this one's rated 3 to 8, and it is almost a broomstick. It is a heavy action rod. Like I said, they're made for muskies, so they are gonna excel at throwing big swim baits for bass. So those 8, 10-inch trout baits, those big 10, 12-inch glide baits, these are gonna be the ones that you wanna check out. Come with a Fuji reel seat on here, you know, premium cork, full handle, just an awesome rod. You're gonna get an awesome quality big swim bait rod, and you're not paying the price of getting a custom made rod for throwing, you know, those 10, 12-ounce baits. This is the 8-foot heavy. We do have a medium heavy. We have a couple more models coming, some 7.6s, and there's gonna be an 8-foot extra heavy coming as well. That's gonna be awesome for those big 10, 12-inch glides. So if you're looking for a swim bait rod, you're getting a really nice quality rod for a great price. I believe they come in at 220 and 240 bucks, and you're not having to pay someone to build you a custom rod. All right, that's gonna wrap it up for today. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of What's New at Tackle Warehouse. For more information or to purchase the products seen here today, make sure to click shop or the link in the description below. If you enjoyed this week's video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, let us know in the comments which one of these products you're most pumped about.